Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Real Housewives of New York, Season 3, Episode 13, Shunburn. So this is coming right on the heels of that big dinner last night. So I cannot wait to talk about this one. Another fantastic episode. After this is Episode 14, and that's the finale. But then we got like a 3-part reunion that I really want to break down and discuss. So don't worry, we have lots to cover. I can't wait to get into this. So, this is the morning after that big blowout dinner that we saw with, just everything. Everything we saw where Kelly had her meltdown. Well, she gave Ramona a note. She left. And it says, "Thank you for the trip. Congratulations on your renewal." And everybody just feels better since she left. They all had trouble sleeping last night. They were all wound up after a crazy night. It's Ramona, Sonja, and Bethenny, and Alex left, and they're all very relieved. Sonja says, "I felt bad for Kelly, but she lost the run of herself. I've never seen this before." They all realized that she went too far, and it was just a different thing that was happening with her. Alex says, "I hope she gets the rest she needs, or the help she needs, or whatever she needs." So they decide to just pamper themselves and enjoy this last day in St. Bart, or are they St. Bart's? No, that's where Jill was going. And the Virgin Islands are going to enjoy this last day. I'm so jealous of this setup right here. I want that pedicure so bad next to the beach. What do you guys say? When the corona's over, we'll all meet here and get pedicures. So they're having this nice, relaxing time, and Sonja starts saying, Ramona, and she's looking around like, what? And we hear, "Hi, surprise." And she's like, "You got to be effing kidding me." It's Jill. We know this is Jill. So she says, "As I'm walking in the door, I'm really excited. I yell, 'Surprise.'" And then she said, "It's like someone died when they saw me. I thought you'd be happy to see me." And then she kind of says she ran into Kelly at the airport. We didn't really get information there, but I believe that comes up at the reunion. Ramona says, "I'm in shock." And Jill says, "I came here to surprise you." Ramona says, "I'm speechless." And so she explains everyone went silent. She doesn't see the elephant in the room. She's way too self-absorbed. Well, Alex is upset. She's saying, "This is the first time away from my husband and my kids. There's been so much drama. We're good." Jill says, "Okay, well, we gotta go. I thought you'd be happy if we came. I mean, I didn't mean to cause any of this. I came here with an open heart to make amends." Okay, Bethenny nails this scene. Bethenny says, "You don't come to St. John's for lunch." She wanted to make a dramatic entrance. She wanted to make a scene. And I think she's spot on. That's exactly what she wanted. Lou even warned her in the last episode, "Are you sure you want to go without calling?" So she knew what she was doing. She just didn't expect it to go quite like this. So Ramona's saying she's speechless, and, Jill's trying to leave. Alex starts shaking, and Ramona hugs her. She's trying to comfort her. And they all say, it's okay to Alex, because Jill put Alex through hell. I forgot that part of this, that Jill and Alex went at it so much and Alex got so upset. But Alex is shaking, so Ramona goes to talk to Jill. Jill's in the car and she's saying, "I know Ramona for 15 years, but she chose Alex. For them to reject me and not say, 'Come in, let's talk,' that was pretty final." Well, Ramona's trying to apologize, saying, "I know you meant well, but Alex is my guest." She was upset. She was shaking. And Jill starts laying it on like, "Bobby spent a fortune to reroute us." Meanwhile, Bobby's out there talking to Bethenny and, saying, "Jill's been very upset. I hope you make up. I've always got," that's something I'll say about Bobby. Right or wrong, Bobby's always had Jill's back. And that's something I always appreciated about him. Because Jill was wrong here. But Bethenny even said, there's two sides to every story. And he said, "Nope, not to me. There's just her side. There's no getting in the middle. It's just her side." So I like that about Bobby. He seems like a good guy. And he seems like he truly loved Jill. So sad. I don't want to talk about what happened now. But anyway, it seemed like they truly loved each other. Okay, so Jill, I don't know. Jill cries. She hugs Bobby, saying they were so mean that he's already called the pilot. Let's go. So, anyway, okay. So we go sit down for dinner. And Bethenny, they're just relaxed. She's excited. She's talking about her belly and her baby. And they're happy. And at one point, Ramona swallowed something wrong. It went down the wrong pipe. She starts choking. They all kind of try to Heimlich her. She's fine. Sonja puts forth a really weird theory where she thinks ear size has to do with men's sizes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Have you ever heard of such a thing? I have not. She says, though, that she was trying to say small ears equal... I don't know. Okay, after dinner, they had a bridal shower and they had a baby shower. And it was so sweet. Alex got Ramona a pair of pearl handcuffs. So that was pretty funny. They make a dress out of toilet paper. So... good for them being able to relax. I thought it was really cool that they did that for Ramona. You know, it's her renewal, but she eats this shit up. So good for them for making a big deal about it. And good for them for including Bethenny. You know, it's her first baby. She's excited. This trip has sucked until now. So it's cool that they did this for her and that she could enjoy it and relax a little bit. So then we go over to Lou and Jill. They're meeting for dinner. Now, this Jen Gilbert is meeting them, too. Again, she must have been, like, a friend of, because she's in a lot of these episodes, but they never gave her a golden apple. They never, I don't remember if they brought her to the reunion, but I don't think they did. Anyway, we'll see. So Jill says she's been better. Lou says, to kick you out after you arrive is unbelievable. And Jill says, well, I could have handled the whole thing better. That's some interesting self-awareness from Jill I wouldn't expect. They talk about Kelly and her nervous breakdown. And Lou says, I knew they were going to gang up on her. Again, I can't wait to see the reunion because I feel like Lou, after seeing it, has a turnaround. And I remember, the only thing I remember for the reunion is Kelly saying, do you need to read your own book, Countess? So I think that was this reunion. Anyway, just interesting. So Kelly arrives. And it's so interesting because Kelly really does see things from a completely different perspective. She comes in and says, from the minute we were together, it was everything I hate, talking badly about people, gossiping, trying to one-up each other. I don't like to gossip. I don't. I was so offended in so many ways. Jill says, I saw what they turned into in the end. And Kelly says, I was trying to talk to Bethenny, human being to human being, about love. And she said, you should have a one-night stand. I'm looking for love. So she attacked me for wanting true love. That's not what happened. They were just talking about one-night stands. Kelly really does live in her own little world. She picks out parts of conversation and then she runs with it and she gets it wrong. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't know if she's so self-absorbed she can't hear what's going on around her, or I don't know if she just cannot take in what people are saying to her. I don't know. I've just never seen anything like it. So she's still doing this Bethenny harassed me in the press, and then she says, according to her, Bethenny said, I went out of my way to have a smear campaign against you. That's not what Bethenny said. We saw it. Bethenny said the opposite. She said, I've never talked to you about you in the press, and I never would. Why would I waste my time? So I don't know where Kelly is coming up with this. Kelly tells some crazy-ass story about jelly beans and having to police the group. Nobody understands what she's talking about. Jen ends up saying, listen, there's 3 sides to every story. There's mine, there's yours, and there's the truth. So, I don't know. I mostly agree with that, except for in this case. Kelly's side makes no sense. I think Bethenny calls it later. She sees the opposite, and then she immediately spews it out and thinks it's her. I can't explain it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Okay. So we go over to Sonja. Sonja is having an art show for this up-and-coming artist. So we see everybody arrive. Alex and Simon, Bethenny, Lou, Ramona. So for whatever reason, they accidentally all wear black and gold. And that was pretty funny. So Lou arrives, and she brings up this trip. Of course, she wasn't there. Bethenny says, you missed a beautiful yacht, a beautiful home, filled with psychotic drama. It was a terror on the high seas, and then one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Oh, Bethenny makes me laugh so hard. I thought that was so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Lou says, I saw her at lunch today. She said you guys all ganged up on her and were mean, and she called it Poison Island. Poison Island? I heard Scary Island. I don't remember Poison Island. Okay, so Bethenny says, listen, Alex is more diplomatic. Let her tell you. They end up all going upstairs and sitting around a table. Alex says she was surprised because everything that Lou was saying Kelly said, the opposite happened. And Bethenny says, after these 5 days, I'm not surprised she doesn't have friends. I'm not saying that because of my rift with her. It became almost like a compassionate thing at the end. Lou asked Sonja about it, and Sonja says, I was stroking her arm and looking after her. And Lou says, well, maybe you guys were a united front. And Bethenny says, she sees things the opposite as they actually happen. She called me a hoe bag, and right after that, she'll say I attacked her. And everyone said, yeah, that's how it went down, but it's not what Kelly's saying. She's seeing the opposite. It's the strangest thing. Okay, so then we go over to Bryant Park. It's Jill's party. It's her holiday party. She's had Jen set up this event. Jen's an event planner. They have these little gift bags for everybody. Jill is saying she missed Bethenny. She wishes things have gone differently. She's greeting all her guests. Her sister ends up coming, and she pulls the sister aside and says, should we call Bethenny and ask her to lunch? What do you think? Meaning, should just Jill go to lunch? So her sister's like, yeah, if it's on your mind, you should do it. So Jill calls Bethenny and says, how you feeling? She says, listen, this is awkward. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. I'm hoping you'd meet me for lunch and talk. And Bethenny says, when I got the call to have lunch, I called so many times to have lunch with her, and I was beaten up. So, sure, I'll have lunch with you. Jill says she feels better. She can enjoy the party and skate. I can't wait to see this lunch. I can't remember what goes down there. I don't think it fixes anything, but I'm just curious. And I'd really like to know, in Jill's mind, what caused the switch? Why, when Bethenny reached out, did you say, no? Did you realize you were coming off as the asshole? Did you realize you're the villain this season, besides Kelly? I just wonder. That's kind of my hunch, is Jill thought she realized she was getting, not a bad edit, but that she was getting the villain edit. And so she was like, I better reach out, especially before the reunion. We see Jill go to skate. She immediately falls down. I don't mean to laugh, but it was kind of funny. Everybody cheers for her. She's doing this routine. She's happy with the party. Ramona ends up arriving, and she wants to bridge things with Jill because the last time she saw her was that when Jill was leaving. Kelly says she's not happy, and let's talk. Ramona says, no, not today. Let's talk tomorrow. And Kelly won't hear that. She just starts talking anyway. So she said, you should be accountable. And Ramona says, do you remember what happened? I think the alcohol got to your head. Kelly says, I can't stand Bethenny. She's a freak. She's a predator. You have to listen carefully, but that's what Kelly keeps saying in the background. She's a freak. She's a predator. What? Kelly's like obsessed. It's so weird. Ramona says, were you at the same place I was? Ramona says, I'm sorry you're upset. Hugs her and says, I had fun with you. Like, she just tries to make it better and hugs. So they hug. It's not real, but I think Ramona's just done fighting. Jill gets on the mic and thanks everybody for coming. Lou brought music. Oh, she brought the music guy, Mr. Haircut, to the party. Jill says, I invited Ramona. I didn't know if she'd come. It's been a rough few months for me, but I'm ready to have peace. Jill and Ramona talk. They talk a lot about the islands. Ramona says, maybe if you said something funny, like, let's let it go, when you walked in. I don't think that would have helped. In fairness to Jill, I don't think there's anything she could have said. She should have just given him a heads up. not make this grand entrance. I know hindsight's 2020, but I'm just saying, like, she didn't have to do it like that. It's kind of Jill's fault. But anyway, Ramona is just trying to give her tips, like, you're not recognizing anything, and it was all about you, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they make up. Ramona says, I'm sorry your feelings were hurt. That was not my intention. They hug. Jill says, we have a strange relationship. We fight, we make up, we fight, we make up. And again, they hug. And that's how the episode ends. Oh, yeah, Lou joins in the hug, too, because Lou can't do anything without Jill. Next time we see Lou singing. We see it's Jill and Bethenny going to lunch. We see Ramona's vow renewal. So, again, this is going to be the last episode of the series. And then we got a big, juicy reunion coming up that I can't wait for. So we'll talk about that. And then let's talk about what we want to go with next. I think I'm going to jump right into the next season. Because if you remember, the season after this is Killer 2. Because that's when that Cindy bar shop arrives. And she's a hot mess. And she's a one-hit wonder. But lots of stuff happens with Jacques. And do you remember they go to Morocco? That was one of my all-time favorite trips, too. Because lots of crap happens. Alex argues and Lou calls them her Herman Munster shoes. So let's just dive into that. So, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Like I say, we still have the finale to do. We still have some reunions to do. We'll just keep going. This is so much fun. I'm loving this season. We didn't even realize how good we had it back then, right? Like, we're lucky to have had this much drama now. Except for on Potomac. They're pretty dramatic. But so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I so enjoy covering these. So much fun. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.